Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make the best steak in under 5 minutes without using a grill. Alright, so to get started, we're going to get our steak ready. Now, I normally get like 2 small steaks, but when I did my grocery pickup, y'all, they sent me this big honking Fred Flintstone steak. So, I'm going to cut it right down the middle. And y'all, I'm going to not make y'all suffer through that. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because I am not the best with my knife skills. So I'm just going to go ahead and slice this right down the middle, and I'm trying to get it as close to even as I can. Did I do a perfect job? Absolutely not, but it'll work. Look, that's about how thick they ended up, so it's fine. This one's a little thinner in some spots than other, but you know what? It's all going to work out just fine in the end. So we're going to want to get our steak all seasoned up. Now first off, put your oven on broil high and put your cast iron skillet in the oven because we want it to be smoking. Now you don't need to oil it or anything. You should have it seasoned already, y'all. So just put your skillet in the oven, your cast iron skillet. Now I don't know how this would work in another kind of skillet. I use cast iron. So we're going to go ahead while your skillet is getting heated up over there. And we're going to want that thing smoking, y'all. So get ready. Turn your vent hood fan on. Open your garage door. Do what you need to do because you're going to make some smoke. Alright. So starting off with these steaks, we're going to go ahead and rub them down good with some oil. And I just use a little olive oil. And then I'm going to take this Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse seasoning. And I'm going to pretty heavily season these because, you know, you got to have some flavor on your steak, y'all. And, you know, but I've made these with salt and pepper, just salt and pepper, and they turn out perfect. So use whatever kind of seasoning you like on your steak. If you have a, you know, certain steak seasoning you like, by all means, throw it on there. So make sure that when you put your seasoning on there, pat it down into your meat because you don't want to flip it over and all your seasoning fall off. So once you get, you know, your one side seasoned, flip them over and you're going to do the other side. You got to season both sides of your steak, y'all. And I didn't season that fatty part down the back side because I don't eat the fat on steak. But if you do eat that part, feel free to season that up as well. So I just go ahead, like I said, give it a real good coat. And y'all see I've got one hand touching the meat and one hand touching the seasoning. No cross-contamination. Y'all calm down. So anywho, we're just going to go ahead, get our steak all seasoned up. Now, after you get your steak seasoned up, you're going to let it sit. We're going to let it sit on the counter for about 30 minutes because you don't want to put a cold steak in a hot skillet because what's going to happen is you're going to cook your outside and you're not going to cook your inside. So just let it sit out, kind of come up to room temperature a little bit. We're going to go ahead and get started on these green beans. Now, the reason I left this in here is because I struggle with green beans, y'all. I love green beans, but I don't like them in the can. And I love fresh green beans, but sometimes I can't get them. And then sometimes I get them, I forget I have them, I don't use them, and then I've wasted them. So I figure if I get frozen green beans, they'll be perfect every time. I'll always have them if I need them. But I also wasn't real sure how to cook, you know, green beans that I was going to like, you know, frozen green beans. So when I went to my sister's house for Christmas, the night before we did our Christmas, she made some of these green beans, y'all, and they were so dadgum good. So I called my sister up and I was like, look, tell me how you made them green beans because I'm going to put that in my steak video. And of course she did. She told me how she did it, and it's super simple, y'all. But all I did was put a little olive oil in my pan or whatever kind of oil you got, y'all. Salt, pepper, garlic, onion, and I like to put some of these little minced onion, like dried flakes in mine. I like a little onion in my green beans. Now, if you have fresh onion, feel free to put that in there. I was trying to make this as quick and simple as possible. If you wanted to really, you know, level this up, cook you a piece of bacon or two, and then, look, I found a stem, y'all. Check your green beans, y'all, because you know there's going to be a stem in there. But anyway, as I was saying, if you really wanted to level this up, throw you a couple pieces of bacon in your skillet and cook your bacon up, and then throw your green beans over in your bacon grease and crumble your bacon right over the top. That would be really good too. So once you get them all kind of mixed around and heated, turn your fire on low, put the lid on, and just let them sit there and simmer. Now, you'll see I put a little bit of char on mine. That's the way I like mine, y'all, I promise. But it's really good. All right. let's get our steak made. Oh, them green beans, just stir them every now and then just turn them off and let them sit. Okay, so we're going to take our hot skillet out of the oven. Now, it's been sitting in there for a good 30 minutes. You see it's smoking. Now, it looks dry, I know, but I promise y'all that's a well-seasoned pan, and she's fine. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our steaks right over into our cast iron skillet. Don't move them. Put them in there. Leave them alone. I mean, adjust them so they'll fit in there. 45 seconds. That's all you need. And I tell Alexa to set my timer for 45 seconds so I know exactly how long I'm doing these. Because, you know, I'll forget about it and walk off. So after 45 seconds, you're going to flip them over. And you see they already got some good color on them. You're going to cook them for another 45 seconds. And then I just kind of stand mine up, y'all see, and just kind of, you know, sear the edges and the outsides. Even though I don't eat the fat part, I still like to sear those. All right, so pop them in the oven, 1 minute, 30 seconds. That's all it's going to take. Now, I like my steak well done. You'll see, I'm going to cut into it at the end of the video, so y'all stick around for that so you can see. But y'all see the smoke coming out there? It's going to be a lot of smoke. This is after a minute and a half. We're going to flip it over. Look at that good color on them steaks, y'all. Woo-wee. And honey, your whole house will be smelling good. So back in the oven, another minute and a half. So we're going to sear for 45 seconds on both sides, and then we're going to put them in the oven for a minute and a half on each side. This is them after I pulled them out of the oven. Now they look a little charred. They're not. You see when I pick them up, it's just the lighting. So once you get them out of your skillet, as soon as you pull them out of the oven, put them on a plate. Cover them with some foil, and then just let them sit there for 10 minutes. And they'll just finish cooking. They'll all that juice will come out. Y'all, trust me, you'll see. Just 10 minutes, that's all you gotta do. You can get all your other stuff ready. Excuse me. So, I promise y'all, like I said, I like my steak well done. These are not dry. It's well done and it is not dry, you'll see. Look at all that juice. Now look. Don't throw that away. That's the good stuff, y'all. When you put your steak on your plate, just pour that juice right on back over the top of your steak. Look at that. That is good stuff. That's drippings. That's good, y'all. You can make a tiny little thing of gravy. Whatever you want to do with it, just put it in a little cup to the side and dip your steak in it. But y'all, this is my little steak. Look how good that looks. And all I did was make that little, I think those green beans, the whole bag was like 88 cents. But you see what I mean by a little bit of char? It's just like my little onion flakes that are just extra brown. They're so good, y'all. And those mashed potatoes, that's those little instant Idaho mashed potatoes that come in the little packets for like, what, $1.50? And that's it. That's what I made. It was super simple, cheap, but so good, y'all. All right, so here we are cutting into this steak. I told y'all I was going to cut into it for you. Like I said, I like mine well done. If you don't, adjust your time. You can do it maybe 30 seconds on each side and then maybe a minute on each side in the oven. But look at that. That does not look dry at all. There's juice underneath where I cut it from. Y'all, this is so good and flavorful and tender. If you've never tried it like this, you've got to give it a try. I'm not the best with a grill, so this is how I figured out how to get a steak when I want to. So y'all make sure you give it a try and let me know what you think.